I know it's not Monday, but I can't help myself. We have a brand new sleep token. This right here, right now, is none other than Caramel. Similar graphics. This feels like a music box.
Count me out like sovereigns, pay back for the good times. Right foot in the roses, left foot on a landmine. I'm not gonna be there, tripping on the grapevine. They can sing the words while I cry into the baseline. Wear me out like Prada, devil in my detail. I swear it's getting harder, even just to exhale. Backed up into corners, bitter in the lens. I'm sick of trying to hide it every time they take mine. So stick.
Man, I tell you what, the lyricism for me, I really love the pen game of Sleep Token, but what is happening? Yet again, it's like all of a sudden on the last track when we just had like the saxophone just coming out of nowhere. Now we're getting like sort of dance vibes to this. What in the dance hall is going on here? I feel like I should be two-stepping on the dance floor right now. Like when that percussion just kind of kicks in, it's got just those Caribbean vibes and ritmo to it. But let's see where we're going with this. And yet again, similar graphics, right? With the flag, the emblem burning. This really feels like the last track was, to me, resurrection and kind of redemption. But you still have these themes of death and destruction as well. But this feels really personal this time. Love this kind of misdirection again. It's like a sleep lullaby. You could just hear it before he comes in. You can hear that breath. Like sometimes as a mix engineer, you'll cut out that breath, but it just feels like this breath is important because he's really going to be vulnerable here and just break it down for us.
Count me out like sovereigns, pay back for the good times.
He's got a dope voice and intonation. Count me out like sovereigns. Like sovereigns, like old English coins, old sovereigns for the king, right? Payback. So if you're counting someone out, that's like a rap bar, right? Versus giving them payback, money, sovereigns, count, pay back. But in this case, he feels like he's getting counted out. And it's a payback for all the good times, which to me has that just irony right away, isn't it? It's that juxtaposition. Like, wouldn't it be payback for the bad times? But maybe you're suffering now because you've been on top and it's like karma had to come get you and knock you back down. Let's see.
Count me out like sovereigns, pay back for the good times. Right foot in the roses, left foot on a landmine. I'm not.
That's it for me. Like it's that pleasure and pain. Right foot in the roses, left foot on a landmine. There's this beauty, this love, but also this destruction at the same time. It's just, yeah, that sort of light and darkness and these themes and these parallels that they weave throughout, this yin and yang to the lyricism I found so far in Sleep Token.
In the roses, left foot on a landmine. I'm not gonna be there, tripping on the grapevine. They can sing the words while I cry into the baseline. Wear me out.
They can sing the words. Who's the they? Is that like the followers singing the words while I cry into the bass line? Right? Makes me think like you're performing at a show and you hold the mic out and you get them to sing the words. You get the crowd, you get your fans, your followers to sing the words. Because I start thinking of grapevine, then he's got lines about the lens. And what does grapevine suggest? You know, you heard it through the grapevine. Gossip. So you have the literal metaphor of like tripping over a grapevine that's on the ground versus I'm not going to trip, right? I'm not going to kirk out or flip out over gossip and things that I've heard. There are clever double entendres in writing throughout this lyricism, man. As a rapper, I love this.
Gonna be there, tripping on the grapevine. They can sing the words while I cry into the baseline. Wear me out like Prada, devil in my detail.
Come on, buddy. Come on. When do you start dancing? TGIF, baby, but wear me out like Prada.
baseline. Wear me out like Prada. Devil in my detail.
Even that's a bar. I'm gonna start calling bars, right? We gotta catch them all on this. Come on, get your T's. Devil Wears Prada, the movie, The Devil Wears Prada. But you know the saying, the devil is in the details. So he flips that. Wear me out like Prada. I feel like I'm getting worn out, right? All this is kind of getting to me, and it feels like, what does Prada suggest, right? Something very surface level. Something rich, extravagant, but also shallow at the same time. Wear me out like Prada. Devil in the details. Flipping into Devil Wears Prada. Come on. And he's being chased by devils. I see it as.
Like Prada. Devil in my detail. I swear it's getting harder. Even just to exhale. Backed up.
It's getting harder even to exhale. That for me is the line that really starts to like reveal what this is about, I think. This feels like talking about letting them sing while I cry into the bass line. Talking about what he heard through the grapevine. And even the detail takes on a new meaning. Devil in my detail, right? Because they're gossiping about me. They're following my details. It's getting harder to breathe. And for me, I take that as like a metaphor for fame. For the anxiety that you feel, the more that you grow, right? You feel like you got your foot in the roses. You also have your foot on a landmine. You feel like you could just blow up at any time. All this attention, right? Leading to the stress and anxiety.
Like Prada, devil in my detail. I swear it's getting harder. Even just to exhale. Backed up into corners. Bitter in the lens. I'm sick of trying to hide it. Every time they take mine. So
Every time they take mine. Bitter in the lens. Because I take that from an artist's perspective. Because when this camera goes on, like when we're filming music videos, when we're trying to give ourselves for the grapevine, right? We give so much of ourselves. And they can take and take and take. And it can take its toll on us and take a lot out.
corners.
Hence, every time they take mine.
Bitter in the lens. I'm sick of
This is really dope.
trying to hide it. Every time they take mine. So stick to me. Stick to me like you're a miracle. Walk beside me till you feel nothing as well. They ask me, is it going good in the garden?
Oh, switch up.
I'm lost, but I beg no pardon. Up on the dice below on the cards. I try not to talk about how it's harder now. Can I get a mirror side stage? You can stop waiting.
Low on the cause, the dot, dot, the dot, dot. Right there. Just that little flow switch and that rhythmic change, man. That was like a rap flow.
Talk about how it's harder now. Can I get a mirror side stage? You can stop waiting. Some of your bizarre's getting worse every time they try to shove a real name just to get a rise from me. Acting like I'm never stressed out by the hearsay. Guess that's what I get for trying to hide in the limelight. Guess that's what I get for having 20/20 hindsight. Everybody wants eyes on them. I just wanna hear you sing that top line. You think of me,
Wow.
then I understand.
Wow, we got more to break down with this lyricism.
Walk beside me.
Come on.
Till you feel nothing as well. They ask me,
Slow percussive roll into this, you know, as it's running, it gets ready, and then it really starts to crash.
is it going good in the garden? Say I'm like
Is it going in good in the garden? Makes me think of like the Garden of Eden, sin. We've had these religious themes in past breakdowns with Sleep Token so far. Also could be like going good in the garden, like tending to your own garden, man at the garden, Jesus weeping in the Garden of Gethsemane.
they ask me, is it going good in the garden? Say I'm lost, but I beg no pardon. Up on the dice below on the cards. I try not to talk about how it's harder now.
Up on the dice, but low on the cards. That's interesting to me, right? If you're playing dice, you roll the dice and you're up, you're winning. And that's the fame, right? That's the fame, because he talks about his real name in a little bit, which really gives it away for me, right? Up on the dice, the fame. Everybody can see dice. When you're playing cards, it's normally you who can see your cards that you're holding. So that's something more personal, right? Up on the cards, down on the dice. Even though I'm up, I'm living this life of fame, it's taking its toll inside in the cards that I'm holding.
Dice below on the cards. I try not to talk about how it's harder now.
The internal versus the external, right?
Can I get a mirror side stage? You can stop waiting. Some of your bizarre's getting worse every time they try to shove a real name just to get a rise from me. Acting like I'm never
Every time he's on stage, they try to shout his real name to get a rise from him. Now, I'm not sure how much of Sleep Token is revealed. All I've ever seen of Sleep Token images is them wearing masks, right? So I don't know if their identity has ever been revealed. Sounds like it hasn't, or some people do know it, right? But there's a reason why he chose to mask himself. He chose to cover his identity. And a lot of that I can understand and relate to, because I don't really share a lot of personal stuff, do I? Like, I don't share my children's names. I don't share a lot of what's going on with my family because I like to have that personal nature. Sometimes I do wish I was wearing a freaking mask and I could have just, masked a lot of this and not had to deal with it. But I've put myself in front of the camera and that jack is out of the box. There's no going back now.
Every time they try to shove a real name just to get a rise from me, acting like I'm never stressed out by the hearsay. Guess that's what I get for trying to hide in the limelight. Guess that's what I get for having 20.
That's the line with the mask. I guess that's what I get for trying to hide in the limelight. And then there's a bar here.
Guess that's what I get for trying to hide in the limelight. Guess that's what I get for having 2020 hindsight. Everybody wants eyes on them.
I guess that's what I get for having 2020 hindsight. You know when someone has 2020 hindsight, like they look back in the past and they call it 2020 hindsight because you're right about everything in terms of what you would fix and what you would change. It's easy to look back on the past and figure out what you would fix. A lot more difficult to do it for the present. But for him, 2020 hindsight, hiding in the limelight because he chose to mask himself. So this was a premeditated path. And he knows that this was going to come with this eventually if he did blow up. And he's acting like he's not stressed out, but even though he knew it was coming, it's still getting to him. There's an irony to me in that 2020 hindsight, but also 2020 was the year of COVID, right? And the mask, Sleep Token, mask, 2020 hindsight.
I'm never stressed out by the hearsay. Guess that's what I get for trying to hide in the limelight. Guess that's what I get for having 2020 hindsight. Everybody wants eyes on them. I just wanna hear you sing that top line. If you think I mean it, then I understand. But I'm still glad you came, so let me see those. So stick to me. Stick to me like caramel. Walk beside me till you feel nothing as well. I'm falling free off the final parallel.
This is beautiful.
Sweetest dreams are bitter, but there's no one left to tell.
The sweetest dreams are bitter, but there's no one left to tell. I love sweet, playing off of caramel, stick to me like caramel, someone having sweet dreams. But it could be like dreams of trying to make it through your music and through your art. The sweetest dreams are bitter. And like when you make caramel, right, you're cooking down sugar. And if you keep cooking something, like especially a sugary substance, you can cook it until it's bitter. That's why chocolate can have bitter notes. Caramel, cook it too long, can have bitter notes, right? Sweetest dreams are bitter. So I love how he plays off of that versus like being bitter, because it's almost like all this fame, when you have people trying to scream your real name and essentially dox you on stage or trying to get a reaction out of you, all of this through the grapevine. So this stick to me has so many layers as well, because it's like stick to me, like the gossip, the news, everything that follows me now sticks with me no matter what I do. But also there's like this cry to the fans, like walk with me, stick with me. Like I still appreciate my roots. I still appreciate being here and having all of this. But I also have to vent and let out. This is my outlet in terms of the pitfalls that come with it as well. With the light, there's also the darkness that I have to deal with.
Too young to get bitter over it all. Too old to retaliate like before. Too blessed to be caught up.
I got to pause on that line. That's such a good line. I want to bring it back. I have to break that down later, but that hits, right? In terms of you're not old enough to be bitter about it all. Like an old man looking back bitter with all these regrets on the past because he still feels like he has a full career ahead of him, right? But at the same time, he's not like young and sort of in that state anymore either. And I feel much in the same way. I feel like I still have a long career ahead of me, but also I'm not like a young dumb kid anymore, and I can't just like brush certain things aside. Like you have the weight of the world, you have that maturity, you have people who rely on you, you have responsibilities. So there's just that being caught in those parallels.
Over it all. Too old to retaliate. I'll take what I'm given, the deepest incisions. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't.
What is that again? That is the war of attrition happening. Just the little soldiers. Wow. So much just happened there. There's a few moments I wanna appreciate. Hang on. That's it. Too blessed to be called ungrateful. See, again, there's that irony that he sets up with the youth and the old bars as well. But like, how can he be ungrateful? Because he dreamed about this and he's in a rare position now with his fame and with his following. But at the same time, like I said, like there is just that something the internet doesn't appreciate, which is nuance, right? Nuance nowadays. And there's a heavy nuance to fame, and there is a price, very much so, for fame and for success.
So I'll keep dancing along to the rhythm.
Dancing along to the rhythm makes me think, right, of like the music box, like ballerina dancing to the music box, right, as it spins and spins around, and he may feel trapped because he calls the stage a prison here in a second. A beautiful nightmare, isn't it? Like, again, there's that juxtaposition, just that word choice. A nightmare is not normally beautiful, but in this case, for him and for the fame and for the opportunity to be on stage for his fans, it is. I'll take what I've given. A war of attrition, right? A war of attrition never, you keep going and going and going until someone drops, and that may be how he feels right now with all this. Like, he's committed. There's no turning back, right? Again, like I said, the jack is out of the box. You can't put it back in. And he still has to create and move forward with who he is as an artist.
The deepest incisions, I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't.
And then this. Whoa. He says right there, sorry, did I give you what you came for? And that's timed with the metal bits and the screaming, right? Because that's what I would expect from Sleep Token, right? Did I give you what you came for? Because we've had all these other instrumentation changes and we've taken you in a completely different direction and world. And now we're back to the metal. Sorry, did I give you what you came for? It's almost, you can hear the irony in that almost, and sort of the bitterness, right? It's sweet, but it's bitter at the same time. Stick to me like caramel. I can't hear all that, but I heard terrified to answer. And yeah, I mean, there is this terror in being so vulnerable and revealing all of this of what you're going through. But isn't this what you came for? You came for this drama. You came for this angst that led to this art. Wow.
I'll take what I'm given, the deepest incisions. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't.
I'm right there with you. Wow. So relatable. And that's the beautiful thing about music and art, is that it just, true art and the purity of it just speaks to your soul. And it just hits you on a deeper level and allows us to emotionally connect with it. And there's that power and that strength and solidarity to me in an artist willing to be so vulnerable and to put himself out there. And even in his voice, like, he's got a beautiful voice, but I think that there's an amazing communication of sort of this just tension underneath, this almost angst to it all. And I'm anxious listening to it, but I'm also enthralled by the beauty of it all and the amazing lyricism Like, again, this is high level lyricism. And I love the musicality. I love how you never know what genre we're going to enter into in the middle of the song and where we're going to turn next and what type of dynamic change and harmonic change is going to happen. I really enjoyed that one. Sleep Token, you are Knox Hill certified. Hope you guys liked today's video. Listen, for some reason you're here at the end. Obviously enjoy the content. Do me a huge favor, support the channel directly. Subscribe, notifications on. Also, if you like what I'm wearing, go cop your merch. knoxhillmusic.com. We got hats, we got shirts, we got hoodies, we got everything you need. If you want to support the channel, it all goes a long way. It all helps. I'll put all links down there. All right, everyone. Stay safe, stay positive. Take care of these, take care of these. Have a great weekend. I'll catch you again.
Sit down, sit down. I'm like, wow, how we do it like that? Like, wow, how we do it like that? Like, wow, how we do it like that? Like, wow, better sit